Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Elevated Beauty Podcast. I'm your host, Emily Fouts. Today's episode is a video and audio recording. If you want to watch the video portion, you can go on Spotify or YouTube to see it. So today we're going to be talking about trust in mentors, specifically in the beauty industry. I do consider myself an esthetician mentor with a decade-long of experience, and what I mentor people in is how to create a successful business as a solo esthetician, because that is something I've done, that's something I've experienced with, and other skills along the way that I've learned on my journey. So I'm going to go over some different things that I personally look for when I'm looking for a mentor. So first we're going to talk about the rise of mentors in the beauty industry. And I feel like there definitely has been a rise. As we get into the age of technology, it's easier for people to gain exposure that way. Sorry, I feel like my microphone's making a weird noise. Maybe it's the air condition. Anyways, especially this year in 2024, we're kind of leaning into ebooks, e-guides. I feel like that's something a lot of people are hopping on. My esthetician guide is in the form of an ebook, and so there might be more people hopping on this trend that don't have the ground to stand on or experience to speak on, and ebooks and guides that aren't created from the source, from the seller. Those are called MRR courses, and we will talk on those also. So with the rise of mentors, we want to kind of differentiate who we think we can individually trust in, and maybe like what you should look for. I feel like how to identify trustworthy mentors are dependent on a few different things. First, we want to have proof and evidence that they are professional in what they're teaching you, that they have ground to stand on, that they have done or are doing the things that they're teaching you how to do. So you need to look for that. I also feel like when someone is authentic, I'm able to build a little bit more trust in them, because with authenticity, you feel like you know that person more. They are letting you in. They're taking down that wall, and there's a thread of connection between us that builds trust. That is a key component in building community. So I personally look for mentors that I can relate with, or I can see that they're not just putting on this facade, that they're not just pinned up and presenting as in their business mode, and that's okay. Having a business mode and persona, a professional persona, is important, but I think whenever you're dealing with your followers or your community, you need to show them who you are. You need to be yourself. You can't operate as someone that you're not all the time. But yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the guide that I offer and how there's integrity behind that and trust. So my guide is an esthetician guide. I teach you guys things that I have learned throughout my decade-long experience in the aesthetic industry, and I teach you how to open and operate a successful solo business as an esthetician. Okay, I'm not teaching you how to grow a business with employees, because I have not done that. I don't know about that. I'm not teaching that. I'm not teaching you how to grow your business to 6 and 7 figures, because I haven't done that. I'm close to 6 figures. That is a goal of mine this year, but I'm teaching you how to open and operate a successful solo business as an esthetician. If you want to do that one day, there's so many intricacies that go into opening and operating a business. A lot of people might be doing that already, and then you have to backpedal and you've realized, I wasn't doing this the right way, and it sucks if you ever did experience that. And so I'll give you a complete manual so that you don't have those missteps, so that's easy breezy for you. And I know what I'm talking about because I've done it and I am doing it. So that's what you need to look for in a mentor, someone who is doing it or has done the thing that they're teaching you. 100% look for that proof and evidence. And I personally feel that's vital. There actually are people, I'm not going to say their name, but it's called like spa something that starts with an S. Yeah, So that was a mentor duo that was going around like a year or two ago, that they were offering mentorships for estheticians, and they were like they were selling themselves as something that they weren't, and they were basically scammers, in a sense. Like, they weren't delivering what they were showing that they were going to deliver. They were really untrustworthy, and so there are some things that you can look for. Proof and evidence that the people are doing what they're saying they're doing. We don't need just aesthetic content like the rich lifestyle, like these curated freaking videos that you can get from these websites and things. Like, a lot of people will market that way. The reason you're doing that is because you don't have the content to produce yourself, in my opinion. I don't like that. I feel like that's an indicator. So yeah, there's a big importance on proof and evidence to know that you can trust this person. So I need to do a little bit better of a job on showing you guys like proof and evidence of let's say the community that I have with my clients. I have an amazing community and connection with my clients, and a lot of people don't have that in business, and it is so important, especially as a small business. You need that. So I would love to show you guys more content with like interactions with my guests, and then I have built this strong community and this bond with my clients, which is what I show you in my guide. I teach you how to retain clients and create that bond, because loyal clients are everything. They will sustain your business, they will market for you, so we want to create that with our guests. And I also want to show you guys more like behind the scenes of the quality that I offer to my guests, because that's something that I teach you as well. Whenever someone has the best service ever, they're not going to look for somewhere else. Like, say you go and travel to this city, you stay at this hotel, it's immaculate, everything is beautiful. You go back to visit that city, you're not going to go try out a different hotel. This whole hotel delivered everything beautifully to you, so you're going to go there again. When your friends go visit that city, you're going to recommend that hotel to them, you know? So, yeah, something else that I teach you guys that I feel like I have been transparent with this, and I have been delivering this proof and evidence pretty well, that I teach my esthetician guide. It's not just about opening and operating a successful business as a solo esthetician, but it's also about like knowing who you are, and establishing, you know, that self-discovery so that you can implement your true self into your business. Because if you're not implementing your personal expression into your business, you're going to get burnt out. So yeah, we go over vision, self-discovery, mindset, manifestation. I feel like I do talk a lot with you guys on the podcast too about mindset, manifestation, how I've implemented that into my life, how I practice it, what it's done for me. You know, I've done a lot of work on self-discovery, self-reflection. I find what my priorities are, what I value in life, because that's how you should operate. And if you study me, if you look at my history, that there's proof and evidence right there that, you know, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just hopping on a trend. Like, I've been talking about this for a minute. So there might be some value there. So speaking on authenticity in mentors, that's something that I really, really look for. I don't want to just see somebody who only presents in their business mode, like I said. I want to see somebody that I feel like I have this thread of connection to, because they're letting me in a little bit. I get to see a little bit of who they are. And that's so valuable. And someone that I really appreciate that with is Tanya Fornerod, the owner of Just the Strip, who hosted the retreat that I went to in October of 2023. And I knew immediately whenever her and her husband announced this retreat that I was going to go, because there have been other esthetician retreats in the past that I've seen, and I didn't feel really connected to them because, number one, the person hosting the retreat, I wasn't sold on that they were trustworthy. Not that they were untrustworthy, but I didn't see that they had grounds to speak on, that they had a lot of experience. And so I felt like maybe it was more of like a fun getaway rather than something that I was actually gonna view them in a mentorship role. I didn't see that. And so when I saw that Tanya was hosting this, I felt like I could really trust her in a leadership role and mentorship role because, number one, she's been doing this for like 25 years at the least. She has a successful brick and mortar business that she operates from another state. She has a e-commerce brand, Just the Strip. Like, she's got ground to stand on and speak on. She is doing or has done the things that she's teaching people how to do, and she's helping people guide their businesses. So why would I want to attend a retreat with someone who is like... Anyways, let's move on to the next. Yeah, that's the connection between authenticity and trust for me, is like whenever someone's being authentic, I'm able to trust them a little bit because, like I said, we have that thread of connection, and that is actually one of the pillars of building community, which I'm so obsessed with building community. I'm still learning about it, and that is a topic that I'm going to be releasing something on in the future. So yeah, whenever you let people see you for who you are and you're very transparent, not just that alone, but also, yeah, when you have this as common thread with a leader in a community or the people in a community, you feel like you're a lot closer and you're more ready to invest and just build that trust. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, a couple things we're going to go over. Also, I want to talk about the value of experience in mentors, because that's something that I just kind of touched on about like other retreats. So I've been doing this. I've been in the game for a decade. I feel like that's a hot minute. There are people that have been doing it longer than me. And personally, I would want to follow someone's advice or just like value their advice or invest in them if they have been doing it for quite a while. For me, it would be really hard to invest in someone that's been a licensed esthetician and a successful business owner for maybe just like 3 years. That's not to say that they're not successful and they don't know what they're doing, because I'm sure they do. Like, I know estheticians that have been in business for just like 3 years and they're doing amazing. They've already hit 6 figures, and that's awesome for them. And they're obviously doing something right. So that's amazing. Pat on the back for them. It would really depend on what kind of mentorship they're offering. That would determine if I would invest in them or not. So I think, with that being said, there is value in experience as a mentor, because time really allows you experience. It's as simple as that. And some people could be licensed for 20 years and not have much experience because they haven't allowed themselves that. It just really depends on the person, to be honest. But I think there is value in experience. Now, if someone has been licensed and operating for a short amount of time, but they are successful in something and they're offering a mentorship on that specific thing, 100%. Like, if they know what they're doing, I want to learn from them. But yeah. So I want to kind of move into the illusion also of social media. So, not the illusion so much. So first of all, let's talk about social media. There's a little bit of a blurred line between like physical and online business. I don't want to say it's blurred too much, but these are two different things. So social media, your business on social media, and your business in person as a service provider, which is what we do. We're in a service-based industry. So there might be an esthetician who went viral for something, and she's got a really clear identity for her social media, and she really has a cult following because of that, which is very amazing. And that can do amazing things for your business when you are a social media strategist, and you are able to take that to your advantage, and you are able to create a bigger audience. Like, imagine your online sales, like from your website or whatever. Like, people appreciate you, they follow you, they like you, and so they will invest in your recommendations and buy your skincare products. And that alone is bringing you in so much revenue. That's amazing. But that doesn't necessarily speak to your physical business. That doesn't speak to your relationship with your clients. That doesn't speak to how you operate in the treatment room, or, So I think those are two different things. So if someone is very successful in their online presence, I would want mentorship on online presence. I would not want mentorship from them unless there's proof and evidence that they are also very successful and have good knowledge and that spectrum as well, if that makes sense. I just want people to identify that a big following on social media does not equal success in the treatment room. I'm sure it can and does, but we need proof and evidence of that also. If someone is going to offer any type of mentorship that relates to that. So, we talked about scam mentors. The last thing I'll talk about kind of in relation to that is MRR courses. These are called Master Resale Rights. It's an abbreviation for Master Resale Rights. So, if you don't know what an MRR course is, the only ones that I've seen have to do with social media. I'm not sure if there's any targeted to the aesthetic industry. I really hope there's not, but it would not surprise me if there was. So what an MRR course is it is a course that is created by some individual, I don't know. Let's just say it's a course on on Instagram strategy. And they usually market it with these curated videos that aren't even organically made by the person posting them. They're like outsourced from these other websites and stuff. People do that all the time. And it's fine to a certain extent, but then you're just like, it's a facade if this is not really like what your business is about, or, you know what I mean? So usually they'll get these curated videos or images and they'll post. It'll be like, I want to learn how to make six figures, and like all I did was go to a coffee shop today and I like sat on my butt and I made like $700. Literally, I follow this page, and I'm not even gonna mention them, but they post that all the time, and it's like, learn how to make six figures posting Instagram content, just like comment interested or something like that. And so basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to sell you this course also, so that you can learn how to sell a course. They're selling a course to teach other people how to sell courses. It's kind of like pyramid scheming. And so not only so that's kind of what I gather from it. They're selling a course to teach people how to make so much money by selling a course. Make that make sense. I don't believe in selling something that you're not a professional in, and especially if you're not knowledgeable enough to create the content organically, so you buy it from someone else. And so let's only speak on things and teach things that we are professionals in. You know, we need to have enough knowledge to create our own organic content if we're going to speak on it and sell it. So that is my opinion on MRO courses, and I am interested to know. I'm not sure if, because I mentioned like it was, so I wonder if whenever they sell a course, the people who buy the courses, do they get a percentage of their sales also? That would be interesting to know. That's something I'm going to look up tonight, actually. Yeah, if you are selling an MRR course, a course that is ready to go, that includes master resale rights, you don't have to do anything to create it. You just buy it, and however it goes, please reevaluate your integrity. You'll feel better if you create something that is organic to you and something you're passionate about. Why are you going to sell something you're not passionate in? And I understand money, like everybody wants to make money. We can see, people can tell if it came from you, if you're passionate about it. And one thing also, like if you're selling a product to somebody, and let's say that you're not really a professional in the product that you're selling, but you're just selling it because someone told you it'll make you a lot of money, and then someone buys the product, and then they come to you and they ask you a question about it. How are you going to guide them? How are you going to answer the question if you're not the one who made it and you're not like knowledgeable on it? You know what I mean? So I would want to be able to be invested in something that I know in and out. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of it this year. I don't know. I have a very strong opinion about this. And you guys know. I do not filter my opinions. Yeah, and I will let you guys know. I'm going to look into this for sure, and I'm going to let you know if I see any MR courses in the aesthetic industry, 100%. But yeah, what we want to look for in a mentor is someone who has proof and evidence that they are doing or have done the thing that they're teaching you, someone that is authentic and is not just putting on this facade, putting on a curation for you to sell this fantasy. I look for somebody that lets me in a little bit, that I can see who they are, okay? It doesn't have to be a lot. Like, we want a little bit of mystery. But authenticity goes a long way. It builds trust. It really does. So proof and evidence, authenticity and trust. Those are the two biggest things. I don't know if I had another key point. Let me look at my notebook. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. But yeah, that's what I think about mentors in the esthetician industry. Yeah, and I'm gonna work harder on showing you guys. It's really hard to create content whenever you are a mom and a wife and you have a business, and like, you know, creating content really is my downtime. But I really want to show you guys more behind the scenes of how I'm, you know, building the community that I've created with my clients, and really the level of quality that I've created, so that you can have more trust in me that what I'm saying works, and I'm walking the walk and talking the talk as a mentor in creating and operating a successful solo business. If you guys want to know more about my esthetician guide, or just have a more cohesive or comprehensive area, you can look on my highlights tab on Instagram at Elevated Beauty Aesthetics. I have a highlight tab called Esthetician Guide or Esty Guide, and I have a lot of reels in there that go over, like, this is what the esthetician guide entails, this is what you'll learn, blah 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 blah. Literally has all the information in that highlight tab, so you can go check that out. But as always, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you next Monday at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for another episode. Bye.